Oh, yep. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So the search is finally over. I've been searching for a truck for my daughter for a long time, and I think I've found the perfect truck, the Senton 223S. This thing is awesome, and I'll tell you why it's the perfect truck for a kid. This is going to be an unboxing and full review, but the first thing we need to do is surprise my daughter with it. Now, I'll be honest, I'm a little bit more interested, well, a lot more interested in the hobby than she is. But I'm figuring the color of this thing, plus the drivability, will lure her in. I'm just going to unbox it here and then show her what it looks like. Purple and pink and blue. She is going to love this thing, I hope. We'll run through this quick. It's got the usual stuff. This is the best part. Yeah, look how bright. Man, that pops. That is bright. Alright, so I'm going to set this up nicely. We'll surprise her with it and we'll see how she reacts. We're actually facing the wrong way. Alright. On the count of 3, we're gonna take off the mask, alright? You ready? You excited? Oh, here we go. Your first big RC car. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Oh, do you like it? Look at that. Purple, pink, and blue. And check it out. This is going to be your very own. You think you'll...
It's getting tiny little wheels.
Yeah, small wheels, yeah. But, pretty neat. Alright, she approves. Alright, so let's get into a review of the truck. If you've seen my videos before, I like to do pretty thorough reviews in a step-by-step way. The difference is that for this video, I'm going to both talk about the truck and the features, but also talk about why I picked this as the truck for a kid, and why you might want to too. So let's start with the looks. The color scheme I love. I'm not super crazy about the design, I guess, of it, or sort of the shape of the body. Maybe it'll grow on me, but for now, I don't know. It looks a little, I don't know. It looks a little weird. But I do love the colors, and I know my daughter likes them too. So that was a big appeal. This is a 1/10 scale truck, and it's considered a short course RC truck. This is the V4 version of the Senton. So that tells me that they've done a lot of improvements over time. I know past Sentons have been known to be super tough and fast. So the V4, I have high hopes for. It's of the 223S lineup that Arrma makes, and that means that it can run on either 2S or 3S. That was one of the appealing parts of this truck for a kid, and that is because I can start with a 2S battery such as this. This is a Power Hobby 5250C, a nice small, not too powerful battery that she can learn on. And that battery is powered through a 2-in-1 ESC receiver combo that comes with these 223 trucks. So it's an 80 amp ESC paired with the receiver. That has pros and cons. Of course, you can't really easily change out one without the other. It's also got this 3100 kV motor. It's got a fan already built in, so it's pretty well set up. And the other factor is that it comes with this SLT3 remote, and it has the ability to shift it from 100% all the way down to 75 or even 50% to start. So that means, when she punches it full throttle, it's only on 2S and on 50% power. It's not going to take off on her. She'll be able to learn that way, get the feel of it, and gradually increase the power until she's at 100% on 2S, and then eventually switch to 3S. So if you've got a kid that's really kind of shaky with it, doesn't know the how to handle the power or the truck, this would be a good setup for that. Any of the 223S lineups can actually do that. I believe they all come with a remote like this, so that should work. So Arrma's got this pretty well laid out here actually on the speeds of each setup. So if I were to run it on 2S at 50% power, it says a top speed of 15 miles an hour. As you increase, 75%, 100%, if you switch to 3S, you've got other options there, all the way maxing out at what Arrma claims as 50 plus miles an hour. And that's on 3S at 100% power. So that's pretty capable for a little truck like this. It does come in these 3 color options, yellow, red, and this cool purple and pink. I think this is by far the best looking one. It comes with the Spectrum S662 servo here, so we'll see how that handles on the truck. This truck is 4-wheel drive. The Fury, which is very similar to this truck, is 2-wheel drive. I've heard great things about that it's super tough, and so I figured I want 4-wheel drive to get her to learn on. That's another tip for if you're trying to get a truck for your kid. 2-wheel drive is very hard to drive. It's squirrely, it spins all over the place. If you're driving in dirt especially, much harder to control. The advantage with 2-wheel drive is it's lighter usually and it's easier to work on, but if you're trying to learn and especially doing it in dirt or even grass, 4-wheel drive is where it's at. So I really wanted to get her 4-wheel drive, and that's the reason for this. And I mentioned that the Fury is tough. I've seen Canadian RC96 just bash that thing hard on a skate park actually, and it came out in one piece.
Ooh. Freaking tank.
So if it's anything like this, and they're very similar trucks, that's a good sign, because this is supposed to be really tough too, and that's what I wanted for a beginner. As you know, kids learning on these things, crashing left and right, so I want something with a lot of protection. You can see it's got a lot of thick bumper siding here in the front too, and you know, because it's a short course truck, it's got just a lot of body cladding and protection that's going to keep this thing secure. A lot of bashers don't have that, and it's got a lot more exposed parts. This one actually is a clipless body system, which is interesting. We'll see how that goes for a kid, and I know from experience from my other Arrma clipless systems that you got to kind of figure it out first. It's got some nice protection in here though, and also mainly to keep dirt out of this. I know from the Mojave 6S that's a huge problem. Dirt shoots right in the middle of it. The truck is also waterproof, which is another must-have for kids learning. They're going to drive through water, muck, and mud, and you want to make sure this thing isn't shorting out in the process. It does have 3 differentials. The front, the center is back here, and the rear, and they're all metal gears. Outside of that, there's a lot of plastic on the truck, and that just comes with these kind of 3S trucks here. It's even got a plastic chassis. I have heard though that they're pretty durable. I think it's a pretty tough truck. It's got some nice looking suspension on it, and as my daughter pointed out, these tires are quite small.
15 tiny little wheels.
So that means less air control, but you don't really need it for this kind of a truck. You're not going to be doing as much backflips and bashing. Now let's check out the size of it. I also wanted something that wasn't too big or wasn't too small. What people tend to do when they start their kid driving an RC car is pick up something like this. Very small, very light, and really pretty durable. This is a truck that I picked up on Amazon. It's an 18th scale. It's great for learning, except that it's very hard to drive. And my kind of rule of thumb is the smaller the truck, the harder it is to drive, and vice versa. So I wanted something that was big enough to be able to handle easier. The Omni Terminator was what she was driving next. That's a 10th scale, but it's much smaller for a regular 10th scale. Whereas this is a full-size 10th scale short course truck, and it's going to be big enough and be easier to handle for her. I also didn't want it too big so that she's crashing into things and either breaking the truck or hurting herself. So to me, this was sort of a happy medium. Let me give you some perspective on how big this is compared to like the Arrma Mojave 6S. So see the difference here. This is a much bigger truck versus this. 10th scale versus 7th. versus 18th scale. I would compare the size with the Omni Terminator, but that one's in a little disrepair from a video I did before. So continuing with the size, just so you can see, the length of the truck is just about 2 feet long from the body, and a little over a foot wide from fender to fender. Let's look at the weight. Okay, it comes in at a little over 8 pounds. That's 8 pounds, 1.4 ounces. And that's without a battery. And so just to compare the weight with something like a big Mojave 6S, you're looking at 13 pounds, 2.7 ounces. Let's get this thing out on the dirt and test it out, see how it runs, and then you can consider if you want one of these for your kid or for yourself. I'll definitely put a link in the description for this truck. Check that out. It'll be my affiliate link. And you know, I've got affiliate links in all of my videos, both for specific trucks like this or for broad sites like A-Main, Horizon Hobby, even Horizon Hobby in the European Union. I've also got an Amazon storefront with all my favorite RCs, parts, and everything else, even camera equipment. So if you click any one of those, you can do your normal browsing and shopping, and it's not going to cost you any more. It'll just give the channel a little bit of a kickback. So check it out if you can. It really helps me out. Now let's get back to the action. Alright, so we're going to try this out with her. She's going to try driving it. We got it on 2S, and we have it set on 50% power, so we'll see how she does with that. First things first, roll down the hill. Ah! Go for it. Yeah, do it. Oh, nice. Oh, you're doing good. Look at that. All right, now just go straight, all right? Whoa! So I got this on 3S now. My daughter had her fun, and now it's Dad's turn. Woo! This is gonna get dirty fast. A lot of dust. Wow, that rock just shot up into that porta potty. Ooh, it's a deadly one. Ah. Ooh, took a tumble. Yeah, it's pretty fast. So that's what's cool is when she gets older and starts getting the hang of this, or if you buy this for your kid, eventually they can work their way up to driving a pretty fast truck here. And so it's kind of got the whole range. Oh. Uh-oh. No. Okay, the steering was a little wonky at first. I was like, please don't tell me I broke it in the first jump or the first crash. She wouldn't be happy about that. There we go. Yeah, so the way these trucks, all these short course trucks, they all kind of tumble easily. This one's actually not as bad as some of those other ones. The Mojave does it and everything, so comes with the territory. A couple things that I've noticed about it so far that are not my favorite are, well, it will be the top if it sticks like that, but oh, see, this battery tray is ridiculous. I don't understand this. So it's got this big strap here, and it's too long. I shoved the battery cable in there in order to make it fit, but especially when I've got a 2S battery in here, there's a huge gap and I can't get it tighter. So I'll have to look at that and figure that out. I tried messing with the gyro to get that on, and it was being a little finicky on me. I got it turned on at one point and then I couldn't get it back on, so I'm not sure what's up with that. But outside of that, this is pretty awesome, guys. This is a great truck. As I said, good for beginners, and actually pretty fun for me too. So I would say it's good for all ages. So this is the trick, getting this on front first. I learned this from Kevin Talbot on his video of this. You hook these little hooks in first, then should. Jeez, what a pain. So if that gets dirty, that is not easy. Wow, it's a lot of dirt, a lot of dust. This would be ready for a bath after this. That's awesome. Wow, it's a lot of dust. Ooh, can't see a thing. Well, that was fun. I hope you enjoyed that review. This is a beast of a truck and great for beginners. Look how dusty that is. Woo, ready for a bath. I will clean it up before I give it back to her, don't worry. And nothing broke, so I'm in the clear there too. I'd recommend it. I'll put a link in the description of this truck, so if you're looking to buy it too, check that out first. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.